Peace, infinite waters, diving deep once again. We are here. This is sexology. Water, fire, hot, cold, yin, yang. Daddy's home. We're back. 10 things to remember when your partner ends your relationship. Let's just... Woo! Breathing in that good ass prana, baby. I woke up to this message from someone saying that their girlfriend ended it. And they are devastated, they're heartbroken, they're crushed. Okay? And they're like, she said she just wants some space. What does that mean, Ralph? And they wrote, I'm still in love with her. I want to be happy again. Like, how do I get over this? And this is something that a lot of people go through. And we ain't even had breakfast yet. Can I get a hello there? So let me share with you what's helped me along my journey. What I've remembered when these kinds of things happen. Okay, along my early journey, it happened to me. I was in a relationship with someone and they just ended it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, will I ever survive this? And then I woke up the next day in one piece. Okay, let's get scientific. Let's talk about the science, okay? A lot of people might tell you, snap out of it. It doesn't help, does it? No, it doesn't help. Columbia University, okay? They showed that heartbreak is very real. In fact, so real, okay? Because they did functional magnetic resonance imaging, okay? They studied college students' brains, okay? And what did they find out? Okay, when they were shown a picture of their ex, oh my gosh, not you again. Okay, what happened? Their brain lit up just like it would if they were exposed to actual physical pain. Okay, heart math shows that our heart is 60 times greater electrically than our brain and 5,000 times stronger magnetically our heart is than our brain. So our heart is super powerful. So what is the first thing to remember when your partner ends your relationship out of nowhere? Right? Life is full of surprises. Sometimes good things fall apart so that better things can fall together. Slow motion this side. Life is about change. And the reason why sometimes moving on, moving forward can be very difficult is because we don't like to change. Like, you like your bed. What if I came into your room and took your bed out of your room? Where did it go? That's kind of like how this is. So allow yourself this period to really get sad, get mad, pull your hair out, and then realize that it's not doing much if I'm getting mad about it. But I can look forward and I can realize that sometimes you might think it's a loss, but in the long run, you might meet someone even better that can help you become your greatest version. It's all about the experience. Be glad that it happened in the first place, right? Out of all of these billions of people, be glad that it even happened, that you met me, you met them, right? Didn't have to happen, but it did. What looks as if it's coming apart could actually be coming together, right? When it looks like it's coming apart, could actually look like it's coming together from a different perspective. Change your perspective. Get a different view. And you're going to start to see that better things are going to come for you. What's the second thing to remember when your partner ends your relationship? What I've seen along my journey is that your ego is hurting. Not that they ended it for you. You say you're heartbroken. That's not the problem. It's sometimes our ego. Our ego is our defense mechanism. As soon as something changes, our ego comes out and say, wait a minute. Do you know who I am? You can't do this to me. Hold me back. Somebody, right? Your ego is like your protection. So a lot of us, we are groomed growing up to always pamper our ego. And then when someone leaves us, it's like a blow to the ego. So the more you live in your heart, you start to realize this, that we don't own anybody to begin with. It's an illusion. Ownership of someone is an illusion. They are choosing to be with you. So once you move more into your heart space as opposed to the ego, you will be able to move forward, smiling. Maybe not smiling yet, but you will eventually, right? What's the third thing to remember if your partner ends your relationship? Talk to me, Ralph. What I realized along my early journey when I had a heartbreak when I was younger is that sometimes a heartbreak can actually be a breakthrough, because it actually slows things down. You actually start to say, oh my gosh, that was a really great person. Maybe I took them for granted. What could I have done differently? Okay. So you get a breakthrough to say, okay, wait a minute, I was really lazy. Or wait a minute, I gave them so much and I didn't get anything back. So it's no loss there. But it's a time for contemplation. It's a time for reminiscing, being thankful for the good old times, and saying, yippee, that you don't have to pick up their dirty laundry anymore, right? What's the fourth thing to remember if your partner ends your relationship? Stop blaming yourself if it didn't work out. If it was meant to work out, it would have. And that's what I always remind myself along my journey. It's not that it's written in the stars, it's just that if it's supposed to work out, it will. The whole universe will make it happen. Sometimes the universe is actually doing us a favor by not bringing us together in certain situations for long periods of time, because once again, we are all here with different people to learn different lessons at different times. So when you realize that, wait a minute, it's okay. I'm not going to blame myself that it didn't work out. Sometimes things are beyond your control, because there is your journey and then there is the other person's journey. You see, the water relationship is where there is 100% resonance. A lot of times in life, people are just coming into our life, then they're leaving. It's nothing personal. But just remind yourself that if it was a true connection, then you can still be connected, whether it's a great friendship or what have you. Okay, a lot of people are like, Ralph, you can't be friends with someone that you're not going out with. Well, it takes a lot of maturity to do that. Slow motion this side. What's the fifth thing to remember? What's the fifth thing to remember if your partner ends your relationship? 7-day vegan challenge. Don't put all your almond milk in one jar. Don't put all your nuts in one basket. And a lot of us, we do that. Okay? Sometimes we idolize people. We externalize our power. We put other people on a pedestal. I always say, meet me eye level. I'm not better than you, and I'm not less than you, right? I'm not better than you, and I'm not less than you. That's the healthy relationship. Some relationships, what happens is that we put all our eggs in one basket. Sometimes we're even with people for the wrong reasons. Okay? You're like, okay, what can I get from them? Not putting all your eggs in one basket works like this. Yes, they give you a great deal of happiness because you're like, I don't know how to be happy again. So obviously this person has made you incredibly happy, and that's the beauty of a relationship. At the same time, you got to realize happiness starts with yourself. If you don't build yourself up, if you don't fill your own cup, what happens if someone else's cup that you have become so dependent on disappears? Slow motion this side. You're in big trouble. I don't want to be in trouble, Ralph. You're in big trouble. I don't want to be in trouble. Right? So I started to learn, I got to fill my own cup, because you can't rely on people all the time. Sometimes, but not all the time. So you got to start learning how to find your inner happiness by loving yourself 100%. What's the sick thing to remember if your partner ends your relationship? Don't do that. No, don't do that. Right? Focus on all the other connections that are going good in your life right now. All the other relationships that are going good right now. Maybe you've got a friend that you've been ignoring for the last week. Maybe it's time to give them a call, right? You see, there is always love around us. Like, I've got so much support, it's mind-boggling. So I'm always realizing it's not that sometimes everything feels like it's crumbling. It's only because where you're looking. You see, you are looking at the lack. You're looking at, oh, my girlfriend left me. That's all you're focusing on. But it's not serving you. Therefore, it's not doing you any favors. You want to start focusing on the people around you who love you, who are there for you, who care for you, and who will pick up your dirty laundry. No, nobody's going to pick up your dirty laundry. Not even the cat down the road. So sorry about that, right? But focus on people who actually are there for you. Those are the people, once again, who deserve your attention right now, because the other person doesn't want to hear. They're like, ain't nobody got time for that. Because that's what you said. You're like, they don't even care, Ralph. I said, I love her and she doesn't even care, right? It's not personal. Just realize that there is someone better out there for you. What's the seventh thing to remember if your partner ends your relationship? This is the time where you have to love yourself a little bit more. No. A whole lot more. Because that person who you depended on for so long to love you isn't there. They don't want to know about what you're doing, how you feel about them. They don't care. Why, Ralph? Nobody knows, right? So, when I've been through this situation in my teenage years, what happened to me was I realized that at the time I didn't really love myself. So I always look for love on the outside. I always look for another person to love me and to validate me and to give me confidence. So when they left, I was really insecure. I was very nervous, feeling like naked almost. Put some clothes on, for goodness sakes, Ralph. So I started to realize I gotta love myself. And how do you love yourself right now? Go to the place where you find your greatest power. For me, it's skating, it's being on the beach, just sipping a beautiful mango juice, right? What is it for you? Where do you find your greatest power? What are you passionate about? That is how to start building up the self-love again, which gives you the self-respect, right? Which will help you move forward and then see someone who is in greater resonance with you. What's the 8th thing to remember? If your partner ends your relationship, stop trying to substitute. Stop trying to substitute, right? You're lost, right? It happens all the time. A lot of the times we're in a relationship and it doesn't work out, so immediately we go with someone else just because we don't want to be alone. I would rather be single and happy than with someone else and lying to myself, right? So be careful you don't just substitute, right? You don't just quickly go with someone to fill a void of emptiness because you don't want to be alone. Take time to heal, especially after a relationship. That's the time where you need to actually go for a massage, something like that, like scratch your back for you, right? But don't just go with anyone because you're like, I don't want to be alone, or I'm going to prove that other person wrong, so I'm going to sleep with all of these people. You don't have to do that, right? It's got to be real. It's got to be organic. More so, it's got to be true to yourself. What's the 9th thing to remind yourself if your partner ends your relationship? I say this, that it's never over. Why do I say it's never over? Because I've realized that even in my own life, sometimes I've thought it was the end in a relationship and then we came back together. And you hear these stories, right? Read memoirs and autobiographies and you hear these stories. Yeah, we didn't talk to each other for like 5 years, and then wait a minute, you got 8 children together. You're married, living in the Caribbean, drinking coconut juice together, drinking coconut juice every single day together. So you don't really know how this whole story is going to end. You see, what you are focusing on is just a small, tiny piece of your story, which is always changing anyway. We're so quick to draw conclusions from temporary situations. And that's the problem why you might be hurting right now. Realize that you aren't in control, and neither are they. When something is supposed to be with you, it will always find its way. It might take a month, it might take a year, but it will find its way. So realize that, hey, I don't know how this whole story is going to end, but if I'm meant to be with her, I will. Or ladies, if I'm meant to be with him, whatever it is, I will be with him, whatever it is. But don't just think that you know everything. Don't just say, oh, it's over, because you don't know if it's over or not. You might wake up one day and change your mind. They might change their mind, and you both might actually realize what a great connection you have, okay? We're all learning along our journey. We're all evolving. No one's perfect around here. And what's the 10th thing to remember if your partner ends your relationship? That you are worthy, because this is the time where you're probably feeling terrible about yourself. Once again, heartbreak is very real. Okay? And therefore, to pick yourself back up, to move forward with strength, mentally and emotionally, you got to start realizing you are worthy. Okay, every single day, I'm in beautiful high spirits because I realize I am worthy. I'm inspiring millions of people, right? So I always feel worthy, but more so I inspire myself. Start inspiring yourself. Don't inspire me. Do something that will make you proud of who you are. And that will help you move through any situation and stay elevated. And then you will see this secret that the greatest relationship takes place within yourself first. And the more you are in alignment with your true life purpose, you will naturally attract everything you need, and you will end up with someone who has your greatest interests at hand. And then you will say, "Feels so good to be alive, baby. Can I get a hello?" And there you have it. We are here just, woo, breathing in that good ass prana, baby. Have a beautiful day. We're here, infinite waters, diving deep once again. Stay well, stay healthy. Peace. You.